Russia is one of the 5 major markets that they are open to development. You have young people, highly educated, hungry to develop, hungry to do things and to improve life for them. There are opportunities for the future here, and they want foreign investors to come here.
The investment climate in Yugoslavia is good in the sense that we meet very strong partners, people who have a hunger to reconnect with the market.
This kind of customized food packaging was completely new in our market. In 1996, this kind of business was not understood by the domestic banks.
Poland is not a rich country. We are changing from the old communist economy and trying to grow our new economy. It is most important that we revitalize our local self-governments so that they can deal with the needs of the people living here.
There's still a lot of investment needed in infrastructure, and I think part of that can be done by the private sector, and EBRD is ready to support such approaches.
Russia is vast. They need much help. They need new systems, new technologies, new methodologies. We have to merge 2 different cultures, different ideologies, not with respect to communism and capitalism, but in business.
Afterwards, we wanted to work with a strong strategic partner. We wanted to attract more investments.
It was very important for GM to go to Russia with a partner. We are not experts in Russia. You need somebody who knows the local feeling, the local area, the people, the ethics. The joint venture partners are 3. It's made out of GM, Avtovaz, and EBRD. GM brings money as well as management. Avtovaz brings the local knowledge and engineering. EBRD brings to the partnership more than the security of money and mitigating risks. They bring the banking know-how of the whole system here. They bring a way of influencing events in the government, thinking for future development.
EBRD brought its great experience in this region and was instrumental in helping us to work through the legal and structural aspects of setting up the joint venture.
EBRD helped us tremendously during the negotiations to reach this balance of the joint venture.
This is the kind of transaction that pulls in experts from all around the EBRD. All of us are really working for one thing, to help the countries of Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union to make the transition from the old planned economies to market economies. On the Avtovaz project, our lawyers, bankers, industry specialists and country specialists were all part of the project team, alongside with those who go out and talk to the people who will be affected by the project. And we environmental specialists are part of every project team. Between us, we check for sound banking, to check for good corporate governance and transparency, and we also check that the plant, as well as the cars themselves, will respect high environmental standards. All this is to encourage investment that will help improve transition.
The opportunity to come to Yugoslavia was a huge challenge. Here was an opportunity to use a lot of the products and tools that we've developed over a long period of time and then apply them immediately. For example, in working with Exim Bank.
Exim Banka was perhaps the only bank in our country at the time that was transparent, which was one of the reasons the EBRD chose us as a partner here. relationship began when Exim Banka showed the courage to make us a loan. At that time, in our country, only short-term credit was available. There was no long-term credit available from any bank. Setting it up was a courageous step for Exim Banka. The EBRD's contribution was huge. It allowed us to move quickly into modern banking techniques, financing, and business practices.
That experience over 10 years has really helped us to be operational, I hope also in bringing Yugoslavia along its transition.
Transition is one of the tests for every deal. We will only offer loans or buy equity if the investment will move the country or the economy forward. Every transaction must achieve something that private sector investment wouldn't have achieved on its own. This may mean, for example, that we invest in a new sector or helping a company achieve the best environmental practices. We use taxpayers' money from our 62 shareholder countries and organizations, and we invest it. And for every euro we invest, we will raise 3 euros from other financing sources.
This is a beautiful city, and there is great opportunity to invest money here.
The EBRD has had a long-standing relationship with the city of Wrocław. We're now working with the city on projects in other sectors, such as property and regional transport.
Wrocław was the first city to have a loan from the EBRD without a sovereign guarantee. The capital investment planning has had a major benefit to the city in its preparation for joining the European Union. We needed help to improve our credit rating so we could raise money for investments in infrastructure. Without this creditworthiness program, it would have been much more difficult.
Wrocław Transport System was our first project to use international tender. That taught us how to work in the future. We have done everything to meet international standards so that we could have access to international financing. I could not imagine doing it without the support of the EBRD.
We worked together to analyze the water system from an international and European perspective. The EBRD helped us to analyze the long-term financial situation of the company and its investment needs so that we can realize our long-term investment program.
We're working with the Wrocław region as a whole on projects in the area of small municipal financing. The bank as a whole has had a broader relationship with the city in the sense that it's financed investments in 2 major financial institutions, both of which are now headquartered in Wrocław.
Financial institutions are a big part of our business because they in turn finance other businesses. EBRD provides a lot of financing to local banks who will then finance hundreds of thousands of small companies. But we also invest in just about every other sector of the economy. We also work with cities and we work on privatizations. Our investment reduces the risk for other investment partners. That's very important because we tend to work in areas that are new and can be quite difficult. All across our region, which is in 27 countries from Central Europe all the way to Central Asia.
The opportunities are huge. Investors should be looking more aggressively, and they are. It's not that they should, they are, and that's very exciting. It's a good market to be working in.
Wrocław was one of the first Polish cities which obtained a credit rating from an international credit rating agency, very good rating at BBB, and it's helped the city to attract other investment on good financial terms to finance other investments.
By using EBRD, we had to pay more money, but it reduced the risk. It made money available for sure, so people could see that. It gave an idea to our local partner that if performance is good, they could use EBRD too. For the progress of Russia and the progress of industry, joint ventures like these are fundamental to be put in place. We're creating history. We think that we will achieve something significant and some people will be amazed.